What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. I'm Leon Angus, and today I'm going to be going through a niche success website review. All right, so if you're new to the channel and you haven't seen these before, I regularly do videos like this where I break down a successful niche website and I just go through all of the ins and outs of all the things that they've done well, all the things that they can improve, and then obviously you can go and apply those things to your own business and obviously steer clear of any mistakes that I might identify throughout the video. First of all, before we get into it, I want to say thank you for 2,000 subscribers. Woo! As of today, which is the 24th of April 2020, I've crossed 2,000 subscribers, so very happy, and welcome to the family to all of you new guys who have recently come on board. So things are really moving quite quickly now, and I'm really happy about that. I've got this little bloody remote in my hand, that's for the camera. Anyway, so yeah, really happy, and there's plenty of new people. As many of you already know, and a lot of you who have been following me already know, you know, I don't hold back on information. I share everything I know, which could be maybe a bad thing in some ways because some people don't share everything. They hold it for like an online course or something. But if you are new, I am also bringing out an ebook in the next couple of weeks. That's going to be released on the 4th of May, according to my plan anyway. So providing that all goes to plan, then obviously, you know, you'll be able to get that book. Now that is going to be a paid book. Of course, that's going to have absolutely everything in a kind of blueprint format. And I'm updating that for all the changes that have happened recently with Amazon. So don't worry if you're thinking, you know, it's all focused around Amazon affiliate, you're not in a good niche that pays a good commission, because I'm going to cover that inside of the book. All right, so make sure if you haven't already, get into the early bird sign up list, which is just below in the description box, and that will actually give you an early bird discount for the first 100 people that buy the book. So for the first 100 people, you get a discount on the book. But anyway, what we're going to be reviewing today is a site called skyliners.com. all right, so this is a website all about outdoor hiking. Yeah, it's a niche website, very niche in regards to the type of way that they've built the site, but the actual category is not so niche, and I'll explain and elaborate on that later. But what we're going to do is basically get into this site, get into the nitty-gritty, break it all down, take a look at some of the metrics behind it, some of the earnings, yeah, see what we can potentially improve, and if we believe that it's being sold for the correct price. So it's currently on sale for $24,000, and the site averages around $775 per month. So it's a 30x multiple, but whether that's justified with all of the changes and also, you know, with how the site's been put together and how kind of steady the income is a different story. So currently the site has 303 articles posted with 588 indexed on Google when I've done the site colon search manually on Google. It has a DA of 34 with an average page authority of around 26, and then it's ranking for over 5,000 keywords, so that's pretty good. So that means it has over 5,000 different keywords that it shows up for in the top 100 results, and I do think a high percentage of those are actually buyer intent keywords. So they're ones that people are, you know, about to make a purchase. So like either a review keyword, a 1v1, which is a comparison of two products, or a best buy comparison, which can be multiple, like more than two products all compared in a list. Okay, and then the site is 3 years and 2 months old, so it's been around for quite some time. I would expect a higher earning for how long the site's been around, but again, obviously, you know, we need to take a look at the site to actually break those things down. I'm not really sure on how much effort and maintenance the current owner is putting into it. So sometimes they list that on the Motion Invest website and sometimes they don't. Not sure if they were able to kind of, you know, extract that information on this occasion, or whether they didn't list it because of that, or maybe it's for some other reason. 17,000 visits per month. And then if we actually take a look at some of the earnings, we can actually see that April 2019 the site earned $615, then $990, then $1,000. So we can see that the site's quite seasonal, because during the summer months it tends to earn more money and then it comes back down again. We are about to hit that period where the earnings are going to increase, so it would be a potential good time to buy it if you are. And then we've got adjusted income for the actual Amazon Associates changes. So, you know, you can see how much that would have been with the changes. So some of them during the summer months are quite substantial, you know, a difference of like $400 in earnings. And then you can see Mediavine as well, which is very good that they're with Mediavine. I don't know what the criteria is for that. I think it's like 30,000 page views a month. And then obviously we've got the Ahrefs data down at the bottom. So they've got 588 backlinks and 166 referring domains. Actually 139 of those domains being do follow links. So that's very good. That means obviously it's getting that link juice from those domains there. Very good. The site looks good. You can see referring domains have gradually grown over time, and then over the past 3 months we've seen a decrease. That's in rankings in the actual average rank. So that's like based on the backlink profile. So they might have been losing quite a few links, but some of them might be outdated, getting changed, so on and so forth. And then if we look at the vendor summary, we can actually see that they've just put, this is an outdoor gears review site, just over 3 years and 2 months old, steady growth in traffic revenue over that time. That's it for now. We're going to jump onto the computer and I'm going to break it all down. We'll be able to obviously analyze this site, put it under the microscope and see whether it's a good investment or not. All right, so let's get into it. All right, so here is the site, guys, and as you can see, it's just a very simple niche website. So they don't have too much going on. It's just good content, and that's it really. There's not much more that's gone into the site. Good content, good backlinks. All right, so if we take a look at this, you can see that there's a lot of buyer intent articles. So this is like a comparison review type keyword, review type keyword. This one is best buy keyword, which is still like, you know, buyer intent. This one is a 1v1, again, review type, so on and so forth. The list goes on. That was one of the things. I couldn't really find any informational content. Maybe there is somewhere deep within the articles. You'd have to actually manually scroll through, because I couldn't find any search tab or anything like that. But it looks like it's safe to say that it's all buyer intent. There isn't any informational content within this site, because I actually went to the last pages when the site started and went back that way, and they're still all comparisons. So there isn't any buyer intent as far as I know. Okay, but some of the things that I do like about this site straight away is I do actually like the logo. I like it. I'll give you my comments on things I would improve afterwards, but just looking at it off the forefront, I do like the logo. I think the name is brilliant. They've got a very good name, purely because that the site has room for expansion. So this is a branded name. You know, you could have an exact match domain, which is going to be an exact match of a keyword, or you could have a partial match, which is partially matching a keyword, or you could have a branded name, which is just a generic name that you make up that just has, like, you know, represents the brand. So I think that's brilliant for a site like this, because you could really make this site with the type of site that it is, and also, you know, the niche and the name, you could make this an authority site. So there's no limit. Sky's the limit. And it's called Skyliners, no pun intended, but sky is the limit for this type of site. Okay, and if we take a look at some of the articles, they're very well written. So, you know, I think that they got good introductions, good use of links. The only thing, let's have a look if these are links. See, so this is good, you know, so they're getting people to click off to their other articles. So they're using like silos, and they're also doing some affiliate links here, which is good, because you don't want any kind of outbound links in this section that are just going to like a third-party website, because if someone comes into a Best Buy review, you don't want them just clicking off to someone else's site, which I've seen people make mistakes with. So what you want, they've also got, you know, the terms and condition thing here that Amazon want you to put in. So that's nice and tucked in very neatly. And then we've also got, obviously, you know, interlinking going on to their other articles. So that's very good. And the reason why you would want interlinks is purely because it's a good signal to Google if someone comes in and they click another article. But the only thing is, obviously, you might be distracting them from making a purchase here. So you have to weigh that up, and that all comes into conversion rate optimization. All right, so we can see, you know, let's have a look at this. So they are still just purely linking to Amazon. They haven't made any changes according to, you know, the changes that have taken place on Amazon. I think they have a very good use of media because of the type of article this the type of niche that this is in. It requires a lot of visual kind of media within your articles, and I think they're doing that very well. It's brilliantly laid out. There's no piece of content that's overwhelming and lengthy and kind of block or wall texty, so it's very easy to digest, and then you've got lots of images to depict what you're reading about as well, or to, you know, give you an indication on the following section. The only thing I would kind of change, I think, about these articles is I think that some of them may be a
little bit too short. But for this kind of keyword, this is probably around the right kind of word count. This is probably like, 1,000 to 1,500 words, which is pretty good for usually like a 1v1. There's not a lot of competition around two specific products. Okay, so I think that's very good, but I don't know how much traffic would be coming around these kind of products. And maybe this would work better if they had this, linking from a Best Buy kind of reviewing a ton of Jetboil flash stoves or whatever these are. Yeah, okay, so you can clearly tell I don't know about the niche. But anyway, so yeah, the images are good, and they've also got people within the images, which I think are very important to converting, so it doesn't look like kind of salesy and not genuine. This even looks okay on this type of site with the product and the way they've laid it out. I'm usually a big supporter of having an image with someone at the top in the featured post, but I think this is very good because all this needs to do is confirm that the person's in the right place. And then obviously if we look at this, we can see that they're straight away identifying exactly what the person has come for, so the person knows that the article is going to tell them exactly what they need to know. Okay, so this is very good for conversion rate optimization. And then for the people who don't have time to read, they've obviously got straight away the table where they can go off to Amazon and see the quick details about the weight indicator, blah blah blah, boiling time, and then they go into the in-depth reviews, breaking all of the features down, so on and so forth. So I think this is a very good article, and that kind of is the case for most of their articles across the entire website. So let's have a look at best heavy duty tents. So you can see here, this is very good. Let's have a look at this, where that goes. Okay, so that's brilliant. Okay, so they've got an affiliate link going there, and then we've got all of the top picks there, and then they go in depth with them with the actual links there. I'm not sure why they're not using a button there. Obviously you'd have to split test that against the button, or maybe not having a button there and a button here. But as I've told you in many other videos, for some reason buttons work very well next to images. I don't know what it is, but it just seems to outperform putting buttons elsewhere. So that's very good from my knowledge and experience. Okay, and then as we come down, they've got the final verdict. The only thing I would add to these articles here is some FAQs, frequently asked questions, because some people are going to still have questions, and as far as I can see, there's no actual buyer's guide. So I would add a buyer's guide to these for those people who are looking to get a bit more information on how to actually pick the best product, because if you just lay out a bunch of products to someone, it's not good enough, because they can kind of go anywhere and get products laid out. I'm sure every store and marketer on the planet will present them products, so actually helping them to choose the best one is very important. So that's why I always use the buyer's guide, and I would add that after this table. A lot of people add it at the bottom, but I think it's not as useful as adding it at the top, because if someone comes in, the speed readers are going to come in and buy from this table, but then the people who want to know more, they don't want to go straight into like these, because they haven't yet found out how to do it, like how to choose. That's probably why they haven't bought it here. So I would then go into a buyer's guide, and that's just basically saying how to choose the best, whatever this is, the steak, yeah, how to choose the best steaks or whatever. And then you basically break it down, things to look out for. So then they know, well, this is my situation, and these are the ones that I'm going to look at. So they'll be able to come down and quickly identify what one is best for them. So let's have a look. So this is hardy and rocky ground. So this is brilliant, because what you need to do on your reviews is always make each product on a list the best at something. Now, if you are experiencing heavy changes from Amazon and the commission rates, then one of the things you can consider is maybe sending people over to Target. In a niche like this, you might find higher commissions by sending someone over to Target, but that's on a volume based commission rate, so you have to be aware of that. Yeah, it ranges from 1% to 8%. The more sales you send, the higher commissions you make. Okay, so obviously you have to look into that to see, or obviously Walmart could be another alternative. And I was taking a look at Target and Walmart, and I believe I'm not sure if both of them, but one of them have like next day delivery or 2-day delivery, which is pretty good, so you're not like, if you can find the right products and you can deep link on those sites as well, so that means you can link to specific product, then you might potentially be in a good position to actually diversify across affiliate networks. Okay, so yeah, the articles are pretty good. I mean, something on trainers, again, this is exactly what you want to see. This is the way, you know, these kind of sites are set out. I'm not sure on 2 buttons like that. Personally, I'd remove this one and then have that one down there. I don't know, you know, I'd maybe have one text and one button, because it looks a bit too like, you know, button, but who knows, maybe they've split tested it, or maybe that's something that you could potentially improve. Another thing that they have done well is they have clean permalinks. So each of their links are specifically, you know, just / and then post name. So I think that works the best. Also, obviously, you know, this can be good if you are creating pages for your website and you're using like categories and whatever else. You can see that they haven't got a top menu, which is definitely something I would personally add in. I know they've removed it for a specific reason, and that's probably because they've got a silo structure. So they're using like an extreme interlinking structure to pass around link juice throughout the site. Now that's great, but for your user experience, that's not that great, because I came onto this article and I felt like kind of like limited and obligated to continue on this article, which is great. I mean, if you're trying to convert someone into a sale, but what if they want to see more of the site? I personally would have a top menu with different categories. Obviously, I would have a search box, you know, the search widget. Now, a lot of people will argue the point that no one uses it, but what about the people who do? Because I'm one of the people who go to sites and actually use the search box. So, you know, there are people who use it, so I would definitely have it there. So I can see what they've done. It's brilliant. They've also got an author box, which is great. I think that's very good. They've got like this links out to a Facebook page, which is very genuine looking and obviously credible for Google as well, because it looks very, you know, genuine to Google. And I do believe that's a persona, you know, I don't think it's a real person. And then if we actually go down to the bottom, they've got all their affiliate disclosure, privacy policy, so on and so forth. I would add in terms of service. That's not in there, so I would definitely add that in. You can see copyright.skyliners.com. I personally would never have a hyphen inside of the domain name. That's something you don't want to do, but you know, it's not that good for SEO. I'm not sure on the exact details on that, but every tool always identifies that you shouldn't have hyphens in the domain name. And of course, obviously, you know, you're using hyphens here. You don't want to confuse search engines and whatever else. I don't know what effect that really has, but obviously that's something that you need to look into. And then if we actually look at the about page, I read that and it was too short. Like, I mean, you don't need to have a long about page. This is not long enough for if someone did come and read it. If someone come and read this and they saw the same exact image as what's there, I would change this image to something else of the same person. And then I would have, obviously, you know, here, it would definitely be you know, a bit more lengthy, like something that looks a bit more genuine. Like, it's just like Brianna and it's written in third person. I definitely wouldn't write that in third person, because it needs to look like the person who owns this site wrote it. You know, this just looks like they've copied it from somewhere else. One of the things that I do like is that the articles are written in first person, which is very good for niche websites. So it's like your and I and so on and so forth. So I think that's brilliant. That's very good. So those are all the things that I really think is good. Let's have a look. Yeah. Also, I think that, you know, the user experience is pretty good. So loading the pages are very good. Just weaving through content is good. And they have a good use of H2 titles. So obviously they've got the big H1 at the top, and then everything under that is H2 sections. And then anything that goes under the H2 sections, anything within this area would be a H3 or H4 underneath the H3. So they've used that very well across the board. I've checked out all the articles and they're using that to the best of their ability. So I think they've done all those things very well. Okay, so what would I improve on the site? So just looking at the site, first of all, one of the things that I would improve is the logo. I like the logo. I think it's great, but it's like blurry. It doesn't look that credible and legit. Like it does, but I would improve it. It doesn't look that modern, actually. I shouldn't say it does look legit, but it doesn't look modern. And especially with the way the internet's moving now, people are just used to seeing these modernized kind of appealing looking logos. So I definitely would keep the same logo, because I think that's brilliant, and it's like representing like a guy outdoors in the mountains. But I would just basically get that buffed out, like make it look all nice, and maybe use a different font for this and use the same color schemes, because I think that's brilliant, but just improve it. Secondly, I would improve the theme. The theme looks good. This looks like Generate Press, most probably. That's my lucky guess. I'm not sure if if it is, but basically, yeah, that I would definitely, let's just have a look. Yeah, so if we look at it, you can see this is generate press, so that was a lucky guess. I never checked it. Just from looking at it, you can see that it's that theme. The other thing is, on the homepage you've got the ad at the top and not at the bottom, but maybe it's converting better there, and the reason there's a sticky widget on the side here, that's good. The reason why I think that it's probably there is purely because they're split testing it. Mediavine, you know, are using an AI to probably test and see where it best performs. So because on these pages I think it goes down. Okay, so they've got a different ad here, but earlier on another page it goes like underneath and stuff. So that's probably just for the fact that it's converting better in those positions or locations on the page. The other thing I would do is obviously add a top menu. I would most definitely have that on a site like this. Personally, because of the kind of niche that this is and how broad it can be, I would definitely have a portal homepage. So the way I would have a homepage is I would have a few affiliate reviews at the top, like my top kind of articles, the best ones, and then I would have like a few info articles underneath, like, you know, so ones that just look genuine and they're just like about information, just helping people with maybe something for a search of a location or something like that, something that people want within this industry, within this niche. Yeah, and that could even be shareable content. You can go check BuzzSumo or something like that for it, or you could use like Ahrefs and it gives you like the popular topics within the niche if you put in like a keyword related to your niche. Okay, so that's definitely one thing. I'd also improve the page speed. Each of these pages are very large in size, so when and not like actually talking about how big they are visually, when I loaded them up in pingdom.com on the speed test, they were over 2 megabytes on average. So the pages are loading at over 3 seconds, like 3.6 seconds. I personally would want that under 2 seconds. So either they need to change their hosting or reduce the size of images, or obviously deactivate some plugins or something that's causing their site to perform slowly. So, you know, even changing the theme could improve that a little bit as well. So I would definitely do that. That's another thing that I would improve. I would definitely add a ton of info content, because if they've got 303 articles, you've got a lot of room to actually add a lot of info content. So if we actually take 20%, as I say, on a site like this, you want to be 80% buyer intent to let Google know that it's a review website to rank you for those buyer intent keywords. But at the same time, you still need to have that informational content to kind of diversify across the board. Especially one of the key areas is Amazon have made some commission rate cuts and they're monetizing with ads. This is the perfect opportunity to come in, whack out some info content. You don't have a lot of competition because you can bang out a lot of informational content that doesn't have a lot of competition. If you target long tail keywords, a lot of people are going to compete more for buyer intent than they are for just information. So you can go and get some easy rankings because the site already ranks, it already has a ton of authority, and basically what I would do is get those easy wins, and you've got a lot of room to add at least like 60 articles to make up 20% informational against 300 articles that are all buyer intent. So I would actually focus on 100% 60 articles that are just informational over the course of like the next kind of couple of months, you know, for this kind of site. One of the other things I would do is conversion rate optimization. So I would basically split test and see if these buttons are working better at the bottom just down here or also here. And it's kind of odd because sometimes you think removing a buyer button is going to have less conversions, where it could work in a complete opposite way. By removing this, it could cause people to continue to read, get the information they need, which then obviously leads them onto clicking onto Amazon. So I would definitely do that. I would also add some pros and cons to each of these specific reviews, maybe not so much on the specific, like, you know, trainers and stuff like that, because people don't always want to see that, but maybe they do. You know, I would split test that, but I would definitely do it on the product based articles. I think these are very good though, but I would flesh them out. So I would go and actually check keyword density on each of these articles, because we can see that this, I drummed it into, you know, this keyword search tool. And if you want to check this tool out, it's called keysearch.co. It's one of the tools that I use for keyword research and tracking, you know, rankings and all that stuff, but I'm sure some of their content length is not right. So if we actually go over to Content Assistant, we'll be able to drum in like one of their keywords that they're trying to rank for, and we'll see the average top 10 ranking sites length for those keywords. So let's just have a look. Let's see what they have, and we'll see what this brings up. So this is going to do its work. We'll let that do that. And then obviously if we look at this, we can see view keywords, and we can see the top keywords. So one of the ways that you can quickly gain some quick wins is basically by adding informational content, but you can also go for those keywords that they're showing up for in positions like 10, 15, 20. You can obviously optimize those pages to come up in the ranks, you know. So if you can get them ranking in the top 5 as well, you're going to obviously quickly make quite a lot of money. So it's an easy way to identify things that are showing potential but not yet quite there. Okay, so that's one of the things I would also do. I would also fix the broken links, because they had a bunch of broken links. So not a lot, but if I actually look at this, I took a screenshot of it, so we can see all these links here, that these links are all broken, and I actually checked them out. It's quite a few. These are images, these are like their anchor text and whatever they're using here, and then this is like a check price button you can see on this page. So if we actually went to the source, we'll be able to find that page. It's a check price button, and that's not working. It's an Amazon link. You can see it goes off to Amazon. It's not working. One of the other things that I wouldn't do, that I noticed on the reviews, is when we actually go to the images, these are all hyperlinked. Now I do know a lot of people used to use that, but I personally don't think that's good. They're basically trying to get people over so they get the cookie, like so it's stored. You can see the affiliate link, so that way obviously now if anyone goes back within 24 hours, they're going to get the sale. But I wouldn't, that's pushing people over unethically. So I would definitely remove all links from images. I don't think that's a good technique. I would let people actively click the button if they want to, because if you're on a mobile, think about how small the screen is. You know, you're already messing around with like a small screen like that, and you might be just trying to scroll like that, boom, and then you've accidentally clicked it. You see that? So that's how it would happen. Like your thumb would just kind of try and scroll down, and you would accidentally click that image, and you'd be more annoyed than anything else, thinking like, why the hell am I over on Amazon now? I wasn't trying to get there yet. I was trying to read this information. So I don't think that's an ethical way of marketing to people. I do like their featured images, and I do like the fact that they're using featured images at the top with a clear description of exactly what the article's about, and they're using keywords very good within the titles. They could maybe jazz them up a bit, because, you know, best ultra like backpacking saw, like, you know, and then maybe make it like, you know, 7 saws that you've never seen or whatever. I don't know, you know, 7 different saws that you never thought of, and all this kind of thing. So they're doing the pros and cons brilliant. So they are doing it on some of these articles. So these are honestly are very well written articles. I can't say that they're not. They're using good images. I think it's very good personally. Okay, so so yeah, let's just have a look and see. So we can see all of these kind of keywords. These are the top keywords that they're ranking for. They are showing up for more than that, but this tool obviously is not the best of tools. It's very cheap. It's only like $17 a month, but if you use my link, I've got a discount code, so you can use that and get it for $13 a month, which is very good if you're a beginner, of course. But yeah, so we can see all these other things that they're ranking for. So if you see things like, you know, we can't navigate their site right now because there's no way of searching it, but if we could see that they're not actually, you know, doing articles on certain topics and they're showing up for them, we could create content around those. So I haven't seen anything about a woman's bike, but maybe they have done an article on that. If they haven't, then obviously, you know, I would actually, the best way to do it is to just search the keyword, and we'll see, because they're in number 3. They're ranking for some good keywords though. Yeah, I can't see them here. It's Skyliner, isn't it, or whatever? Yeah, I can't see them. I don't know why the tool's bringing up that they're ranking there, because I can't see them for that keyword. Basically, they probably are. I might be doing something wrong or something. Oh yeah, look, I forgot we can even click it here, so it shows us. So they do have a women's bike article under, so they're doing that review. So I think that could be a bit better and longer for that kind of article. They'd be able to cram in more words, you know, and actually rank for more terms. But I don't know, maybe that one article is ranking for quite a lot of different keywords, so we can actually see the articles. I haven't used this tool in a while, as you can tell, but yeah, we can see here these are opportunities. So all of these things where they're ranking, you can see that Bella Beat Leaf, whatever, if they got good traffic, it's probably worth going for and improving. So this is position 4. It's getting 480 searches a month on average. average, and then obviously they're, you know, just ranking number 4. So by making a few tweaks, they can bump up to number 1 and maybe get a bit more traffic on that. And we can actually, you know, go and check that. If you use a tool like Ahrefs, you can see the amount of traffic that the competitors are getting in positions 1 and 2. So they might be getting a lot more traffic than what the tool says it has search volume. And then obviously you can go and check what those websites are doing. You can go and check what those websites are doing, and you'll be able to obviously, you know, go and figure out what you need to improve to beat them, okay, or to compete on that level. So that's the way I would do it. You know, personally, I think it's a very good site. Would I pay 30x multiple for it? Not at the moment. Personally, I wouldn't. That's mainly because I can see a ton of opportunity here, but it's had a dramatic decrease in earnings. On top of it, I think is like a lot of things that are not great about the site that could have been done a lot better to improve the consistent income. So I think for the amount of articles that it has, and it has no informational content, there's quite a lot of work to do to improve this site. So I personally would not pay like more than $15,000 for it at the moment. Of course, some people might argue that point, and many of you may have seen a friend of mine, Diabetic Game Guy, that left very in-depth detailed comment last time about the site. And let's actually see if he's left me an email or anything like that, because I got through to him, so he hasn't managed to get back to me yet. But what I would say is, so you can see, look, for this best jogging shoes, look at that's 4,000 words on average the top 10 sites are doing, and these guys, you know, had nothing like near that level. So that was like best jogging shoes. It was this article here, you know, this needs to be like a 4,000 word article, and that's like probably under 1,000 words, you know. So you can see the difference here. Yeah, so look out for my friend's comment in the comment section, because I'm sure he'll leave something very valuable for a lot of you to learn from. And I'll be sending him the sites beforehand in future, but it's because sometimes I'll just pick them randomly and go through them. So according to this tool, they're showing up, you know, 51 different keywords in the top 1 to 3, so on and so forth. So you can see this is the top 100. They got 766 there, 1015, 865, and that makes up the total number of 4062 keywords. But they're ranking for more than that, because according to Motion Invest, they're ranking for over 5,000 keywords. All right, so I hope that helps anyway. If you did learn a lot from this video, then make sure to smash the like button. If you are new, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. This will be part of the series in the successful niche site reviews. All right, see you in the next one. Peace.